with all the agents that I have, we kind of made a quick switch mindset wise, because a lot of people, when they're doing this, they're looking for that yes, but they got to go through a bunch of no's, and it gets draining. But the way we're thinking it now is you got to switch, and you're not looking for the yes, you're looking for the no. And every no is a win. So now all of a sudden you reverse psychology. What is it? Reverse psychology, right? No, now the no is actually something positive, right, that you're going after. You're getting wins. We were talking about this. You get wins as no's, but then all of a sudden you get a yes, and that's also a win. So you're just never losing.
So it's
all you do is win.
That's it. All you do is win.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Elite Sales Podcast. I got my special guest here today. We got Darren Lee. Where are you from, Darren Lee?
LA this year.
LA, California. Yeah. And we got Willin Pineda, or Will Pineda. You can call him Will. And where are you joining us from?
I'm in the San Gabriel Valley out of Azusa.
Okay. Also here out of Los Angeles County. So real happy to have you guys here with us this week. So the reason why I wanted to have these guys on is, number one, Darren's been doing great with the production. He's going to go over some door knocking tips for you guys. We call him the door knocking king around here. And then Will has been steadily growing his team, and we wanted to hear a little bit of insight from what he's doing. But before we get started, Trisha, are you on here?
Let's see.
She's usually on like clockwork.
She's not.
She's not. Okay. I will.
Fashionably late, maybe.
Probably wants to make a grand entrance. So if you do me a favor, just text her and let her know. But we'll start with, first of all, we had Devin on our group chat earlier asked the question. So this is something that might help you guys generally out there. But his question was, he had a few cancellations because the client got drafted sooner than expected. Okay, and he got drafted sooner than expected, and then they were upset about it. So then they canceled, and then he's trying to avoid that. So the thing is, mistakes happen, or cancellations happen. This is all part of the business. There's going to be a normal attrition rate, and that's anywhere from 15 to maybe 25% at most. If it's more than 25%, we really need to evaluate our process, make sure that we are saying the right things, or we're not misleading clients, or we're not saying things that I mean, even if you're not intending to mislead clients, but if you're doing something where you lose more than 25% of business, you really need to talk to somebody, talk to your upline, talk to somebody to help protect your back end money. And also, make sure that if the clients need this coverage, let's make sure that they're covered. But if you're getting a certain amount of cancellations, and Devin's talking about, it's because the draft date. Okay, and I think you guys might have addressed this, but just for the benefit of the rest of the group, how would you guys handle that situation?
So yeah, I was on a call today with Devin, and I was telling him it's just part of the learning process. Personally, myself, I've had it happen, 2-3 times, and I really wanted to make sure that never happened again, because it felt horrible when they felt like they were, swindled or something. So I was like, okay, this is never going to happen again. At the end of it, the root of that cause is that I realized that I wasn't explaining the process of that, when it was going to be drafted. So I always let them know that, I tell them, hey, if you are approved for this option, you do get the preference for which day of the month you want to draft it. So we're finding out the recurring draft date. So some folks like the first day of the month, the 5th day of the month, or the last day of the month. Do you have a preference? And then they'll think about it, like, okay, well, I get paid on the 3rd, right? My Social Security. So let's put it the 5th. So that's the recurring draft date, which is different from the initial draft date. And then on the application, there is a separate question that, we'll ask you, when do you want the effective date to be, right? So I'll also let them know. So keep in mind that sometimes it may take anywhere from 3 to 7 days for them to go through their underwriting process and approve you or decline you. If you are approved, they will be drafting their first draft within the first 24 to 48 hours, right? Then if they're okay with that, right, then great. I'll let them know your policy. If you're approved, it should be going into effect by next week. And then if they say something like, oh, well, I don't have money right now, then I'll say, oh, that's okay. We can set a future draft date or a future effective date when this policy goes into effect, if you are approved. And then I'll just say like, well, if you get your money from Social Security on the 3rd, let's just make it the 5th, the same day that it is going to be drafted recurringly. Right. So I just say that just to avoid any confusion.
So you give them the option. So
yeah, I give them the option, and I don't mind for future draft dates. Like money is going to come. So I have deals, I have deposits coming in. If you keep working, you'll have deposits coming in every single day. Right. So it doesn't matter if like, oh, I'm not getting a deposit from this work that I put in this hour 3 days later. If it comes in a week later, like there's not much of a difference.
Right. Anything different for you, Will, your process?
Just if it happens, it's one of those things we just got to recognize and acknowledge that it happened. It was an accident for the client. And then at that point, you just kind of talk to them and see if there's any kind of way to recover it, and just acknowledge that it happened. You didn't share enough with them. Yeah. And that if there's anything that you can do to help move this forward, and then, if they still want to cancel, then, it is what it is. But if you take that approach, then on occasions they might be okay with it and say, okay, well, let's just change it.
Well, I think that's what once something's happening, we're all human. We make mistakes. So when that happens, I think it's important for us to just own it and just be like, hey, I messed up. Maybe I didn't explain it properly, or maybe I confused it for something, but this is what happened. It was my bad. How can we fix this? And, for most people, if they're reasonable, they're fine with it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, how do you avoid that? How do you, before you even get to that point?
Well, it's really like Darren was saying, it's just, you got to be very upfront with everybody, let them know exactly the exact process of how it's going to happen. So they're aware of it, so that when it happens, they expect it. Because if they expect it, then there's no problem.
So one thing that I do to precondition them, so these are for the people in the market that they check their bank statements often. So the way I precondition them is I let them know. So one way that you'll find out is, if you check your email often, then you'll be getting a notice there that you got approved. I'll get notified as well if you're approved or declined. And then if you, if you do get approved, keep in mind that it does take anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks for them to send out that policy in the mail. So look out for that, right? If it's a big packet, then great, you got approved, you got it. If it's a small flimsy one, then you know that it's a decline. And also another way you can find out is if you check your bank statement, if it says Americo and you see the premium drafted, that just means you got approved. So congrats, you got approved. So I kind of put that in there beforehand so that when they do check their bank statement and they see Americo or they see Aetna or Mutual of Omaha, the feeling they get is not like, why did they draft me? It's like, oh yes, I got it. Right. Because the whole time I'm not letting them know, like from the time that I'm in the door and I walk out, they still don't know if they got approved. And sometimes I don't even know. Right. So I'm not like just saying that to say that. I really don't know if you're going to get it. Right. So they've sat down with me for about an hour. They've waited a whole week. Right. Then maybe a week later, they get the policy in the mail, or they see their bank statement and they see Americo. The feeling they're going to get is not like, why they draft me? No, it's going to be like, yes, I got approved. Thank God. Okay.
So one other way to try to avoid this, and this is something I used to always do to avoid future draft dates, and then the client's not prepared for it, they're not expecting it, I don't give them the option. I just say like, hey, listen, with simplified issue business, we're just gonna be able to tell on the spot whether or not you get approved. So upfront, if you get approved, it's going to come out within the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay. And then are you good with that? And then most of the time people will just be like, okay. Because then like they're going to go with whatever you say. Like I kind of equate this, like I don't have any kids myself, but I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and I'm the fun/reckless uncle. So we do a lot of like fun stuff out there, and then sometimes they get hurt. And then so one thing I learned, instead of like picking them up and be like, oh, are you okay? Because of course they're gonna start crying. Like sometimes they're just like they're like stunned, and then like you pick them up and you're like, are you okay? And then they start. And then they start like breaking out, they start crying, right? So what I learned is like I just pick them up and I'm like, you're all right. And then like they're just like, okay, and then they just run off, and then that's perfectly fine. So I don't know. I mean, you got to take that same approach. You know, the thing is just automatically assume, hey, it's going to come out within the next 24 to 48 hours. And then after that, it's going to come on this same day every month from this point forward. And then most of the time, they'll just go with it. Now, put the onus on them. If they say, they'll know their situation. If they're waiting for their social security check, or they're waiting for a certain payday, and then they're on a very fixed income that way, they'll be like, yeah, I actually won't have money now, so can't draft it now. And then just okay, then at that point you would react and be like, okay, then when do you get paid, or when will you have this money? So if you do this and you don't put any future draft dates, because yeah, I get what Darren's saying as far as future draft dates, they're going to eventually have the money, but we got to be realistic about most people. They're going to spend whatever they see in their bank account. And then if they see it and they forget that they have an upcoming insurance payment, because no one wakes up every morning and just thinks like, hey, do I still have that life insurance? Do I still have that thing? Like nobody wants to think about that kind of stuff. So, people put that on the back burner, they forget about it. And then that's how you end up getting a draft unexpected, and then overdrafts them, and then client gets upset, and then they want to cancel something that they originally agreed to because they saw the value in it, they know they needed it, but it was unnecessary anguish that they had to deal with because of a misunderstanding that them and the agent had. So to try to avoid that, just be very assumptive about that, and just tell them up front, hey, it's going to draft right away, and then let them tell you if they can't do it. Okay. So that's how I would handle it. That's what I would say. So if hopefully that helps some of you guys. And then we got Trisha on now, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Trisha, hey Trisha.
Hi family.
How you doing? Great to see you.
Sweaty. It's 96 degrees in St. Louis.
Is it?
It's hot.
Okay.
Hot.
And it's nice and humid too.
It's miserable.
All right. Well,
it's miserable, but you're going to make a good mama one day, Albert, with assuming the clothes with those kids. That's exactly what you do. Don't let them think that they're hurt. Just make them keep going.
I'm going to be a mama. That's what I heard. All right. Well, we wanted to have you on because the last few weeks, or I guess for a while and consistently, we continue to talk about social media because it continues to be pervasive in our lives. Especially when it comes to business. Okay, I mean, what you guys do personally, I mean, that's on you guys. Whatever you guys choose to look up. But I will say, if you're a business person, don't let it consume you. Like, don't let the personal stuff that you look up on there consume you, because you're not going to be productive and it's going to take up too much of your time. But
like, I don't look at TikToks.
You don't?
Like I look occasionally, and I did before, but I don't look at TikToks anymore. If that gives you, and I'm literally the social media guy here. So if that gives you context as to like, you should spend a little time on it, to figure the stuff out, get the rhythm, get the vibe. But like mainly you should just be, creating content. Like,
right. And we're saying this as it pertains to your business. We want people to get on there and market their business, market themselves, because we all have something to offer out there. We all, especially in the type of work that we do, we want to be able to help as many families as we can. And it doesn't matter how great of a salesperson you are. It doesn't matter how great of a product you have, how great of the companies you work with. If nobody knows, nobody knows. You can't help them. Right. So then we've been talking about social media on and off, and more on than off. But as we continue to talk about it, a lot of people have been reluctant to start. A lot of people have been kind of bashful about it, or just overthinking it. And that's probably the biggest thing, just overthinking it, because they're thinking like, what if no one wants to hear what I have to say? Or what if I say something stupid? Or what if I look like a fool? Or whatever it is. And, that doesn't stop us. We continue to do what we do because, we're just going to continue to speak about the things that we know. Now, the reason why I wanted to have Trisha on, because, we've been working on your social media, or at least you've understood the value of it. But then you recently just started. So what made you start, and how's it going so far?
Yeah. So the last 72 hours, it really succumbed to me that TikTok is really the only thing that I'm doing right now, because it's a whole new world, But, I think was that Yoel that was speaking a second ago that was like, I really don't look at the TikToks. I think that the first thing you do when you get on there is you start looking at everything.
Right. And
what I've come to realize is that everybody is on there, and it's a platform for everything, And so I think that the cool part of it is, even if they're not looking for the opportunity, they're going to run into it here. You know what I mean? Because they're looking at other things. I think there's a lot of good things on there. There's a lot of vulgar things on there. And, there's some things that I turn away really quick, and I'm like, oh my goodness. But then I know that, FFL is all over there, and so it's working this whole country with FFL, I don't care where it is. There's people, there's agents, there's the Sean Mike is on there. There's just really good stuff on there. I'm not, I don't have a lot to offer. I'm not gonna dance. I'm not gonna
Let's not say that. Come on.
Or twerk or any of the stuff that some of these ladies are. I just don't have that. But I can tell you, I think I was, and I'm not bashful, but I think I was being a little. I was overthinking like what it was. I really, and that was because I didn't know what it was. And I think that you have to realize what it is. Like you kind of get into it, you stick your toe in the water and you realize, well, wait a minute, it's just exposure. It's just like, it doesn't really matter. It's just exposure. But the cool thing is that I kind of was like, why am I doing this? I had to figure out like, who am I trying to direct this to? Who am I trying to capture? You know, if I'm going to invest my time into this and then hopefully it gives a return in my business, like, who am I going to talk to? And so I just kind of got candid and I was like, all right, I want to hire a lot of single moms. That's really my mission in this, is to help a specific, not that I won't give guys a job, because I will, but you know, my heart clings to that. That was kind of like, you know, God put that on me. Yeah. Well, I mean, God put that on me. And so I started just with my first TikTok, was just kind of like talking to single moms. It was 15 seconds. They're all 15 seconds. And it was just like, you know, let me give you an opportunity. This isn't a hiring event. Like, it's a real movement. And I do look at this like this. I feel like we're in a perfect time, in a perfect place. I think Sean Mike started this movement by agents doing better than everybody else that was in the industry. And I feel like we all can take a niche out of that and have our own movement for whoever we're trying to help and give the opportunity to. And, you know, with that being said, I kind of was like, okay, I'm going to be acclimated to, in the morning, I'm going to post like before I start my day and what my goals are and my aspirations. And then I'm going to do an end of the day. You know, what did I accomplish? How many families did I help? What did I really make today? You know, that this is doable, and just give them something authentic. And then I was seeing a lot of, you know, more money acclimated livelihood. You know, people are interested in that. I mean, I think that's more of the bottom line. People, they see numbers and then they're magneted towards it. Is it real? Can it really happen? But I think a lot of these videos, they're like, well, you can make 30 grand, you can make 40 grand, you can make $100,000 a month. And I think people are like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost too much. And so when I got an Americo summary in the middle of the night, and I woke up this morning, I was like, you know, it's not the biggest commission in the world, but to a lot of people that are making $3,000 or $4,000 a month, and they're trying to make a change, they're trying to figure out, or they're just wanting to go to another level. If I can show them I made that in one policy, let's see if that intrigues somebody. So I just made a screenshot of my commission, and that was from Monday on an America policy that was like for $11.23, and I just put like 2 little stickers on it, and I just put a message that, you know, I made this and with one policy, I helped one family, let me show you how to do it. And I wanted to show you this. I think when you start this, you actually kind of get a little warm and fuzzy, like people really are looking at me on here. You know. And I posted that today.
What was the result of your first TikTok?
I had 700 and these are my TikToks, just these 4. And this is my first one. And there's been 785 views on that one. Now I just started 2 days ago. Okay.
Right.
I've got on that one, I had 785 views, 622 likes. I had 4 DMs. The next one was that night, me sitting on the couch. There were 681 views. I had 1 DM and 2 texts. I posted this at 11:43 today. Let me pull it up so you can see the whole thing if you guys haven't seen it. It's real simple. You guys see those every day with your own commissions.
Yep.
It's got a little cash thing that's going.
Statement. Yeah, we get those emailed to us daily.
Yes. And so I took my agent number and personal information out, and I just posted that. And since 11:43, I have 411 people that have inboxed me.
Wow.
I have had, I'll show you the text. I sent you some screenshots, Albert, of this one was so sweet. I just got this before I got on the call. And this lady saying, let me show you. She says, help me, please. I'm a single mom and I hate my job.
Oh.
And so I just text her, I will call you in an hour. God's working on your behalf. And I've got 3 more of those from single moms. I've got this guy from Texas. I hired a guy from Texas this morning. And he told me, and I don't want to be the dirty recruiter, like whatever that is, I don't want to step out of my lane. But and I call Albert about this stuff just to make sure I'm not, going against some rule. But he basically was like, I want a mentor, and I'm licensed in 20 states, and I've been doing this for 10 years, and I hate the IMO I'm at, but I've been talking to someone at FFL for 2 weeks, and I really haven't got any clear answers. But I know FFL is where I want to go. I've done enough research. And I was like, well, I'd love to be like, let's talk. And so we're going to have a Zoom tonight, but he's basically committed himself to Elite Angels, which when I get VP, nobody's going to take that name because I'm going to be the Elite Angels. But anyway, it's just been like surreal. And so I was telling, Albert, I'm telling him this today, and I'm telling my feed, and he's like, yeah, you're going to need to hire somebody. Cause I was like, I cannot possibly keep flicking through all of these things, because I've got this cut and paste that has the Join Elite video link, and then it's like, DM, text me, or whatever. We'll go to the next step after you watch the video. And so I was like, okay, who can I get to like do this all day? So I've hired my 13-year-old for $5 an hour to cut and paste my, to answer these, right, and kind of help me all day long, because I don't know how people could keep up with this and still be out in the field, because I'm field full time. So this is going to be an interesting adventure, but people sure are like, they're watching, you know what I mean? I mean, they're watching, and I'm like seeing souls and hearts on there that are like, I was financially devastated over COVID. I still don't have a job. And some of these people have made $100,000 a year. Some of these people have waitressed their whole life. Some of these people, a lady called me and she was like, I've been a victim of domestic abuse for the last 6 years. And I got to find, this is the only way that I'm going to get out of this, because he's been a provider. I have to figure out a way. And so when you are now a part of something like that, like you're obligated to do something for these folks. Like this is, I feel like that's even like a test. Like, honestly, like God's like, okay, like I gave you this position and this opportunity. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to help? And so, yeah,
the stories are crazy on there. Like that people send you, like they just pour their hearts out. Like we have a responsibility to reach out to these people and to make sure we take care of these people. And how many days ago did you start TikTok?
2.5 days ago, Albert.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And
can we do that? Can we clip that? Can Albert ask that real quick for my video?
So how long ago did you start your social media? Start your TikTok account?
2.5 days ago on Tuesday.
And how many followers did you get after one day? Because I remember you called me.
So I had it backwards. That was 644 was the following. So I had 188 the first day, but now I have 714.
Wow.
There you go. See, I mean, and all this is the crazy thing about social media too. Like whatever you talk about or whatever you focus on, like that's what everyone else that like has looked stuff up like that, or they talked about that stuff that connects all you guys, right? So that exact demographic that you're looking for, because you were called by God, as you said, to help single mothers, and that's who you called out for. And then those are the people that started responding. Those are the people that it reached. So,
well, I 100% believe in manifestation. And I believe, if you speak negatively, you will get negative. Like your atmosphere will be negative. You will just channel that in, and it's harmful. It's diseaseful. It's a cancer. Yep. But if you spend your time counting blessings, you spend your time appreciating everything, even your grief. Okay. Which is easier said than done, but you do it for a while, it will manifest. And people love to be around and work for and just be in existence with somebody that can always look at the glass half full, problem solvers. And I think that, I came from a world, my past IMO, that I was like restarting every day because it was so negative. I was just like, it almost was like another job just to be positive, trying to get out of that, and so to have kind of like this clear slate, the timing is perfect. The people need this. Like these folks out here, like they really do. Like they need it and they can do it. I don't know. A lot of us, I came from a sales background. I was a director in finance for car sales, which is a dark environment, but it's a hard close. I was in closing people on $700-800 payments. We don't do that. And that's on a non-necessity. Like you're gonna die. You know what I mean? Like this is not hard. And these it just really comes down to like the activity, and I interviewed a guy the other day. I said, I'm so not formal, but the one thing that I have to know is like, are you really going to be committed to listening to everything that I'm telling you and then going and actually doing it? Like, or can you go out and be as active as it takes? And really, like, how long are you willing to give me a year to just go through it? Because after a year of doing this, getting in a stride, I mean, you honestly, you can really set your whole life if you really lay into this thing after, for one full year. And so I want to give it to everybody. I want to give these ladies life skills. I want to show them, how to own a business, how to run a business, how to be organized, how to be able to balance your time and all of those things. But it really comes down to like, do they want to do it? Do you really want to go out and make this what it can be, So.
Well, appreciate you sharing, because obviously you're a great salesperson. You've been a top producer in all your different experiences in sales. So I mean, for you to branch out, this makes me really proud. It makes me really happy for you, because now you get a chance to explore different things. And it's a great thing that you're also hiring your daughter to manage your social media for you, because we don't want you to be consumed with answering all these DMs too, because you still got to go out and make money. Like we got to focus on what makes us the most money. We got to continue to bring in the type of income we need to take care of our families or to follow our own financial plans, but still be able to branch out. And, for us to be able to do that, we got to delegate. And then it's going to be great for her too. It's business experience for her.
Yep. I think I'm also older. So, the social media stuff to me,
Trisha, I don't want to hear it. Trisha, I don't want to hear it.
I don't know if I want to say this word, but I'll just leave it with this. I'm older. Okay. So I just, it really is, it makes no difference to me, but I know, that it's a part of this world, and, I did get something here. I watched something, and it was, I don't know who it was, or just a random person. And they were just talking about change. Like, if you don't take the risk, if you don't get out of your box, if you don't get uncomfortable, you're just going to stay where you are. And I'm not happy. Well, I'm happy because I have joy in my heart because of Jesus Christ. I don't want to say that, but I'm not satisfied with what I know I could be. Right. And I'm a very competitive person. So, I want to see how far I'm going to tell you I'm going to have that integrity deal. I'm going to hire 700 single moms. And so, that's going to manifest. And, with or without social media, that would happen for me. But I know that delegates a lot of these generations and the folks that are out there. And if that's what it takes right now, then I have to change. I had to change from somebody that never did it. And I have to be a person that does it if I want to be progressive and I want to move forward.
Yeah. Well, real proud of you for taking the leap. I'm glad you saw immediate results with it too, because now you got to get your message out there to a lot more people. So appreciate having you on, Trisha.
Thank you so much. God bless you guys.
Yeah, I love what we do. Because the thing is with Trisha, like I've never met her in person. So this is the beauty of what we do. We're able to meet people from all across the country. She's out in Missouri. I'm out here in Los Angeles. And I even flew out there one time to try to meet her, but then the snowstorm hit and we didn't get to actually physically meet. But every time that she calls me, we talk as if we've known each other for years. And then like, it's such a cool job. And to see how the platform that we have, how people can make money and they continue to expand it, it's truly a blessing. So
I've reached out to a couple, people directly. And I think that, when it's like that, when you can, we haven't physically met, but when we have our talks and we're able to be on that level together, that's when, things are actually, the universe is right. When it shouldn't be hard, and so I love this family and I love the energy. You guys just, the help you put on GroupMe, you guys are masters at what you're doing. There's so many benefits. Some of you guys that didn't have an IMO before, you don't even realize really how tremendous the opportunity is. I mean, forget the money. Just forget the money. Take the money out. And I would come to work with FFL now that I know what I know, regardless of the contract, because there's so many advantages, So I'm going to stop. It's not my show.
No, it was your portion. So appreciate you sharing. But yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. You guys have just recently started your TikTok accounts, right?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
Last night.
Doesn't it feel like we work for TikTok sometimes here, Yoel? Like we're just like talking about it so frequently, but
We promote it a lot.
I know.
For a reason.
Because we want everybody to have an opportunity to be able to grow from this. But yeah, I mean, like a lot of the stuff that we've been putting out, like we just talk about what we know and we just try to make it a little bit of fun. And we still talk about the things that actually work. We're not out here twerking. We're not out here.
Nah.
I mean, maybe a few of these guys, but I mean, you'll never catch me. But
Well, going back to what Trisha was saying, like she was like, "Oh, I don't have much to offer." It's like, "Oh, well, you do. You have a great opportunity to bring people in and make money."
Right.
Making money, like I think, like we were making TikToks here earlier, and it blows my mind. Like people just like look past the opportunity when they're thinking about TikTok ideas. I'm like, you know how many people want to make money on TikTok? Like everybody. Let me tell you right now, everybody wants to learn how to make money, how to make more money, right? So it's like if you just lead with that and just kind of structure in a good way, then you're gonna be okay. You don't need to do all this like weird stuff. Like I just do not understand it.
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on the platform you have too. We're blessed to have a platform like FFL, something that is duplicatable, something that you can bring other people in. Because I own like let's say a tire shop.
Yeah.
And like I did a bunch of super cool TikToks and I'm like, hey, come check out my tire shop and blah, blah, blah. And everyone comes in and they start asking me like, how can I do this? And I'm like, well, I'm the owner and there's not really much room for you guys to make any money. Then what's the point of it?
Yeah. You got to move over to my tire shop and work over here. It's like, you don't have, it's just like a beautiful thing to plug in. Like FFL is a perfect company for like TikTok type, like, recruiting.
Right. Like if Darren made $15,000 in a week, he can teach someone to come in to make $15,000 or more in a week.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's not going to take away from what you're doing. Right.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I made the account. I'm like, okay, let's just, cause I want to get back to my appointments and one of my, and just so you know, Trisha, like, us young folks, we also have to deal with the limiting belief that we're too young to do insurance, right? So with even social media, right, it is catered, I guess most people think towards a younger crowd. Now everybody's on it. So I was when I made mine, I was like, okay, I want to focus on producing, but I also don't want this to take time away from producing.
Right.
So I was just being quick at it. And the first video I posted out, right, I was like, okay, let me just post something and get some feedback.
Yeah,
right?
let's talk about that.
Yeah. So
love that.
I just did that. I was like, okay, I just came out of appointment. I helped this lady out. And, this is the reason why she wanted it. I ended up, helping her getting approved on the spot. And this is my commission that I'm going to get deposited in 3 days, right? Hit me up below. And, it was about like a minute and 30 minutes. No, a minute and 30 seconds. Yeah. And I realized from the feedback that Yoel gave me and you gave me was that it was a bit too long. Yeah. So the second appointment that I submitted, I was like, okay, let's make this shorter. Right. And I think I got it down to like 38 seconds. You're like, talk faster. I'm like, there's no way I could talk as fast as Jesus. Okay, let me just use a video editor and then just speed it up, and then now I'm talking faster. Right?
That's cool. That's cool.
So
You're learning. So
yeah,
Little trick for you guys too.
Yeah.
You know, little hack.
Yeah. How about you? How's your social media stuff going?
Well, I just started TikTok last night, which I will post a video today.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can film something
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. I mean, and that's I mean, for me personally, like I just know about my business, and yeah, I've delved into social media a little bit, but I'm not trying to spend all my time focusing on that because that's not where I make my money. You know, that's not where I want to focus all my time. Like I'm trying to help people build their business this way, but instead of spending all my time going and researching, because you know, as I'm kind of a nerd and like I've spent a lot of time trying to learn every single detail, but instead of doing all that, I'm like, why don't I just hire somebody to do that? So I hired Yoel, and
I'll take your money, Albert.
okay. Well, I'll keep giving it to you. You keep bringing us these results. So
Of course.
but yeah, I mean, so just talk about what you guys know. Like, don't need to overdo it. Don't need to overthink it. Don't need to talk about things that you don't have to do a bunch of flashy stuff. Like, you know, when we're in here, like people come in like, hey, I want to make a TikTok, but I don't know what to talk about, or I don't know what to say, or I don't know what, or I don't know if I have anything to offer. You know, that's for us. We're just like, just like, what do you like most? Talk about that, and then like break it down in a very, like, try to do it in an honest way. Like, because the thing is, we always talk about, hey, why don't we, like, we can make up all these fake numbers, or we can make up all this fake income, but ultimately, or we make up all these techniques that seem super flashy. Like, hey, you can make $1 million in a day or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if we hire those people, then we're accountable to that.
Yeah. Exactly.
So like, why would we want to waste any time? Like, I don't have time to be wasting like that. You know, like I want to build my business. I want to work with people that genuinely want to grow. Yeah. And for us to like waste time to say things that are untrue or say things that, you know, that are misleading, you know, we got to deal with the consequences if it does work out.
And the funny thing is, and it actually holds you accountable because people will reach out. Like you guys do generate leads from TikTok. So it's like, oh, hey, I want to work with this guy because I want to work with Jesus. He said he made $1 million a month. I want to work with this guy. Right. It's like, people are going to look at Jesus funny when he hires them. Right. And right. Really, you know, I don't know what Jesus makes, but I don't think it's $1 million a month. Right. So
not quite,
you know, close, but not there yet. But yeah, so I think that's the other thing, right? Like lead with what this opportunity can do. But what I always ask people when, you know, we're shooting TikToks is, hey, what's your biggest month? How much did you make this month? Because we don't want to fabricate numbers and, you know, try to be cool. The nice thing is we don't really need to do that. You know, we just have to be a little bit more thoughtful about the content. If you're not a massive producer, then talk about something else, or talk about, you know, the good month that you have had, or, you know, something like that. You know, you don't need to be deceptive to do this. You know, FFL is a great platform. It's very marketable. You make money. You can plug people in from anywhere. I think that's enough, yeah. You know.
Just be you. Like everyone has something to offer, and everyone can relate to somebody. So like when Trisha talked about single mothers, I mean, that's, people can relate to that. People, that's what it is. So we'll move on to something else more about other parts of the business, because you guys have a lot to offer here. But so you came off a decent month, right?
Yeah. So last month I submitted 43,000.
Okay.
And then to break down the numbers, so I submitted 43,000. I got 36K that was issued, and then from there, now you know, that was actually like my first full-time month, because before that I was just kind of been part-time.
Right.
So my mentality going to it is like, if you're gonna go hard, you have to be willing to like spend that credit card or, you know, your money on leads. So minimum is like $1,000 a week. So like on a low month, I would spend $4,000. And then now it's been towards $6,000 to $8,000. So about like 1,500 to 2,000 a week on leads. And out of that, like I realized I still haven't even resolved like nearly, you know, all the leads. So I think I've just resolved like 10 to 20% of the leads. So there's still a lot more that I could, you know, clean up.
Right.
But from that, I got 36K that was issued, and then from there, minus the leads, I probably netted 23K. So from that that month. Yeah.
So you got paid 23,000 last month. Okay. So I mean, a lot of people talk about, you know, leads, because here at Family First Life we have our CRM, you know, which houses all the leads. There's older leads, there's newer leads. You choose to work older leads, right?
No, I like the leads that I really like, that I've grown to really like, is the 1 month internet leads. because they're not too cold, they're not too hot either, and you could get them at a really good price if there's a discount.
Right.
So like as low as $2.50.
Right.
And then they're $4 each. So you can buy a huge volume, and with volume, your leverage is volume is your leverage. So when somebody tells you no, it's like you don't care. You just move on to them.
That's the beauty of it too. A lot of people come in. There's like, I only want to work new leads, and if you want that, you just pay a little bit more, and you can get those. If you only want to work older leads because you'd rather have volume, you can do that too. If you want to do a mixture of both, I mean, that's what a lot of people do. So, that's available here at Family First Life. So, what's your experience of older leads versus newer leads?
I started doing a mix of both. So like 50-50, because the 1 month you're not always going to see them. So if I see them, I'm buying them up. Right. So I'm very competitive with the leads. If you don't, so I'm in LA market, right? If you're in LA market, and I'm competitive as well. So if I'm getting leads, I'm waking up 5 a.m. I'm making sure that I'm on the CRM and I'm buying them every 3 minutes. I'm scooping them up. That's how competitive I am.
Right.
And the thing is, with the leads, that the lead flow that is coming in, even in LA, I've never had an issue where there's never been any leads, because you just got to be on top of it. Because I do know that there are newer agents that do struggle with buying leads, because every single time they check, there's none. But you have to be on top of it, because what I do is I just set a timer every 3 minutes. I'm checking, and then in between I'm just making dials, and then I'm checking back, and then I see a couple more and I scoop them up.
Right.
So those are for new leads though.
Yep.
But once in a while you'll have the older 1 month leads or 3 month leads, which sometimes they drop them in like all at once, and you got to be on top of that as well.
Yep.
So real quick, it's really easy. You guys want to beat Darren to the leads, you just got to wake up at 4:30 a.m.
There you go.
Yeah.
Set your alarm for 4:29 and then get on before Darren. But I think people joke about, or we're joking about that now, obviously. But people do legitimately believe that. They just say like, hey, there's no leads in my area, or there's not enough leads. I think you touched on a good point. Like, you're just competitive, like, or you're just on top of it. When people go on, they check like when they wake up like at 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, everyone that's working harder than you got them already.
Mm-hmm.
And they come in throughout the day as well.
They come in throughout the day. Yeah, that's my next point, because I have agents all the time saying like, oh, there's no leads in this area. There's no leads in this area. I'm competitive myself. So then every time like people tell me that, I'll go on throughout the day and I'll just keep checking. And like yesterday alone, people would tell me like how there's no leads in this market, that market. I picked up over 100 leads within a couple hours span.
Yeah.
A couple hundred leads, and then I was like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's nothing special. Like, it's not like I have some like secret like access to the CRM. Like, we all have the same access. It's just you got to stay on top of it. This is your business. If you care that much about it, you just put in the work. And like this, and that's not even like really considered work, because I don't feel like I'm so accomplished. I bought a few hundred leads. Yeah. Like, I just got them just to make a point. I got them just because I'm trying to help some agents out. So, for anyone that thinks that there's not enough for you out there, or whether it's leads, whether it's money, whether it's clients, whether it's whatever you want to call it, work harder, think bigger. Like, it's really out there. Like, don't limit yourself just thinking like the one time I checked or the 4 times I checked that day, they didn't have it. So it doesn't work.
You're always going to get what you're looking for. So
Right.
if you're saying you're looking for nothing, then you'll get nothing.
Right.
Yeah. And just like being competitive, just know that the top producers, this is what they do. Like, they check and being safe, right? Like, because you can set a notification, right? And if you get notified, you'll know, okay, there's new leads coming in the CRM. If you're driving, right, be safe. Don't be trying to buy leads as you're driving. Just pull over, buy your leads, and then continue driving. So
right. Yeah. What
That's what I was I'm sorry. That's what I was gonna tell you is, if you look here, it's called it's an internet lead alert. And so I have it set on the counties that I want to buy leads.
Right.
And mine goes off in Missouri. I probably get, which it might be only 2 or 3 at a time. Sometimes it's more, but I can go right here, click right here, and buy them right off of my phone.
Yep.
And they'll go right into, my CRM. And I get an alert all throughout the day, so I can be out in the field and still stack my leads. I may not buy 50 leads at once because they're not available, but I'll probably buy 50 leads as they graduate through 2 days by continually picking them up and scooping them, and then I'll make phone calls or I'll go out and door knock for those 2 days after that, but it will alert you. I'm sure most of you guys already know that, but
no, that's a good tip for anyone that doesn't know that yet. You can set these alerts. I mean, regardless of whether it's an alert or not, the thing is, you'll get it done if you truly want to get it done. If you're kind of casually dipping your toe in the water, then I don't know. You might get lucky, you might not. Don't know what else to tell you. So yeah, thanks for that, Trish. So we'll switch topics real quick. Will, you're building a team now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So what's what was your compulsion behind that? Like why did you decide this is the time or this is the place to build?
Well, there's a few reasons. It's nice to make money for yourself, working yourself, but helping others make money. I mean, that mentally, that's the way I think. Helping others make money for me is more important than making all the money myself, because I'm helping other people grow and be financially free. So for me, for my soul, that makes me feel better, knowing that I can help others and seeing them grow, seeing them get excited that they're making money, that they're helping other people. I mean, this business is amazing because it's just all about helping people. You're helping other agents, and then you're helping people, and then other agents are helping people. I mean, it's just all about helping each other, and it just creates a really nice energy, and everybody gets really, really excited. If it was just all about the money, then it wouldn't be as fulfilling.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of sacrifice too. Because I mean, like if someone came and said, "I need to make a lot of money," would you recommend, hey, just start hiring right away?
No, you gotta make money for yourself.
Right. And how do you do that?
Well, you gotta buy leads. I mean, if you make money for yourself, you gotta go buy leads and put in the activity, which is like the number one thing coming right in is you gotta put in the activity to get a result. And if you don't put any activity, then you're gonna get nothing. With the moment that you put in activity, and activity also is adjusted as you go, because when you first start, you're not going to be very good at it.
Right.
So as you go, we adjust, readjust, and then all of a sudden, then you get $43,000 in a month.
Right. After
a bunch of adjustments.
Right. Well, I think Darren he was on a training one time. You talked about you got to give yourself permission to fail.
Yeah.
Right.
So I started saying to all of our new agents, like, you have to give yourself permission to fail, but also, like, for once in your life, you've been acting like the same way for me, the past 25 years. So the permission that I gave myself was not just to fail, but like just to go nuts and be like a crazy person. Right. So if I really, really wanted to make it, I have to imagine that I'm just this crazy maniac person, just like, spending all my credit cards on leads. And then now, like, oh crap, I bought so many leads, I got to put in the work now and just like get out of my own head. So that's, I would say, in terms of mindset, when I really want to flip that switch, I give myself permission to just stop being myself and just be this, this alter ego. Like, for example, in sports, you have Kobe Bryant, right? He has the Black Mamba, right? That's like his alter ego. Right. He gives himself permission just to be like an absolute beast on that court. So that's something that has worked for me. And I just apply that whenever I want to just make that switch.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you're sharing this with your agents, because you got to get them in the right mindset too, because we have to know what to expect.
There's something that in with all the agents that I have, we kind of made a quick switch mindset wise, because a lot of people, when they're doing this, they're looking for that yes, but they got to go through a bunch of no's, and it gets draining. But the way we're thinking it now is you got to switch, and you're not looking for the yes, you're looking for the no. And every no is a win. So now all of a sudden you reverse psychology. What is it? Reverse psychology, right? No, now the no is actually something positive, right, that you're going after. So you're getting wins. We were talking about this. You get wins as no's, but then all of a sudden you get a yes, and that's also a win. So you're just never losing.
So it's
all you do is win.
That's it. All you do is win.
So it's
I've heard that
redefine.
before.
Yeah. So it's redefining how you define success, how you define winning and losing. So I changed my definition from winning is, getting a yes, and it's also getting a no, right? When people tell me no, that's a win for me because I resolved that lead. Even though I wasn't able to help them, right? It was a no. Okay, I still want, because the lead is resolved. So my definition of losing is inactivity, right? So I keep track of my activity, and that's my measure of winning and losing. Zero activity, you're losing, right? The more activity, you're winning. It doesn't matter the result, whether it's a yes or no, or call me back later or another time. That's still a win for me.
Right. So that all goes back to like having an abundance mindset on top of everything else, because in order for you to get your yeses and nos, you have to have activity, the thing you can control. In order for you to have activity, you have to have enough leads. So, and having leads, it's a conscious decision for us to believe that we live in abundance, that we have the opportunity to be able to do this. Number one, that we can get them on the CRM, which I've just highlighted that it's possible. And then on top of that, you have to make the right financial decisions when you get paid, or when you have a little bit of money. Don't go and blow it on some type of liability. Don't go and blow it on something that's not going to make you any money. Put it aside, put it back into your business. If you have enough leads consistently, then you're always going to have an opportunity to have activity, which is going to lead to your yeses and nos, and those yeses will lead to money.
Yeah.
It's very easy if you just don't overthink it that way and just focus on putting in the work. But I think what hurts a lot of agents is the fact that they just get so like enamored with having a super high closing ratio and being so good at closing, and like all I need to do is see like 3 people this week and I'll make $1,000 or whatever, and which is like very dangerous, because it's not gonna play out that way for you every single week. Like you got to focus on the hard work. If you focus on enough hard work, you're gonna make the type of money you're looking for.
So like, to me, that would be losing. Like if I set my goal as I need to have 20 appointments this week, that's the number, right? And I only had 5 appointments, but I submitted like $30,000. That to me is still, that week I lost, because I don't care. Very easily you could have submitted like $5,000, right? So it's not about like whether you submit it or not. It's just the activity. It's getting those appointments, getting those dials in.
The goal is not the money, it's the appointments. How many appointments can I get to? Because that's going to get the money, but you want to focus on appointments and how can I get more of them?
Right.
Yeah, somebody told me very early on, stop trying to run after money, because money's real fast. You won't catch it. And I think my best months, and some of the people that have been doing this for a long time, I haven't, but is when you stop counting the money and you really just start counting how many families you help. It is remarkable how the dividends stack. It's just night and day, because if you stay relentlessly focused, like Darren was talking about, like he become obsessed that month, just tunnel vision, and nothing else was going on besides what he was doing. And that's how people are successful in everything, is when they get really obsessed, they're relentless, and they take risk. And gosh, he's smart for 25. he's I put on there, he's wise beyond his years. But yeah, to understand that early, good Lord, can you imagine where he'll be at 30? But
I have a
the money. Just stop the money. Stop counting the dollars. It gets in your way.
I have a saying they tell all my agents, and it's a dog, right? So basically what the dog is money in this situation. They say, what happens when you chase the dog? The dog's gonna continue to run away from you. But what happens when you start running away from the dog? Then the dog starts chasing you. And that's the way I try to teach all my agents to think. So stop chasing the money. Don't worry about it. Run away from it. Go chase the nose, and then the money will chase you.
Yeah, it's all what you want to focus on.
And I was gonna kind of tie it into like let's use Trisha for example, like in regards to content posting. Like she had a good start. Like that was a good start on TikTok. She posted, which is already a win, and then she's posted a couple more, and she's getting good traction, right? Like for me, as the social media person for this agency, if I post one post and it gets 1 million views and then I don't post for the rest of the week, that's a big fat L for me. Right. But if I post twice a day, for the whole week, and I get like 1,000 or 500 views, that's a dub, because at the end of the day, like it's a system, and we play on the averages, and we play on like the increasing the probability of success, increasing the probability of something going viral, getting traction, getting the attention of recruits, right? So just because I may have had some luck because that's what it is. It's just luck. If I post one thing and it goes viral, that is luck. It's not I'm this great, smart guy and this and that. So it's very, social media is there's a lot of art into it. And I think that like blinds people because it's a lot of system, you just got to drip on people. Trisha, I hope she continues, and I think she will continue to post every single day or, multiple times a day, which is optimal. I'd say, 3 times a day would be great. And she will see incredible results in a month, 2 months of doing that every single day. Like it will actually be disgusting. Right. So following the system.
Whether it's social media, whether it's building a team, whether it's personally producing, or a little bit of both. The thing is, it's not about being a one-hit wonder or chasing to be a one-hit wonder. Like it's all about consistency and putting in the work. So that's the part that if you guys are watching and you guys want to be successful, whether it's here or anything else in life, the thing is, if you're not consistent enough at it, you're never going to be able to accumulate and have that compounding effect with your results. And for anyone that thinks that you can do it unless you're going to go win the lottery or something, it's foolish to think that way. So all of us just need to be mature about it and just understand this is how you build a business. This is how you continue to accumulate wealth and continue to grow your business. And then we just need to be consistent at everything that we do. Right. Yeah. So obviously we're running out of time here, but Darren's actually the door knocking king, and we're actually going to have him record some trainings for us. So he's going to get together with you all. So we're looking forward to putting that out. So before I let you guys go, just real quick, like what's your income goals, Will?
Income goals for the month?
Leave it open to you.
For the month, shall I just start? So for the month, I want to get to 30K issue paid. I want to get my team to get the logo for this month.
Good. Ooh, what do you need? How much do you need to write to become a senior sales manager, which allows you to get a logo?
100,000
issue paid. 100,000 issue paid. 100,000. Not submit. This is a real number of families being helped out there. Real money, real commission being paid out. So for you to get to your 30,000 of income, and for you to get to your 100,000 of for your logo, what do you need to do to get there?
Well, invest in leads, book those appointments, and then help my team do the same thing.
Okay, great. Darren, for you, what's your income goals?
Help him reach 100K.
Look at that teamwork.
Yeah, like I really want, because we operate as a team. Like when he wins, I win, we all win. Even though like if they're not like my agents or anybody, like what I really love and just like came to learn just being in FFL is I just see people helping people. Because when I came in, it doesn't matter who was my direct upline, everybody helped me. So I got that, I got it from Albert, right? I got it from a bunch of other people that, I wasn't technically part of their business, but I got that help, right? And that we call it the in-home helpline, the SOS helpline on GroupMe. Like whenever I'm in the home, I know the first few weeks I was just like nervous and everything. And I knew that I could rely on that. I didn't know anything about product, but I could rely on that. Right. So I love the culture there, which is why I want to help him win, right? That's incentivizing me to like produce as much as possible and help other agents get started as well when they're in the home and they need help, right? So part of my goal is to get that logo as a team as well.
Right.
Personally, for me, I'm still this is going to be my second month full time. Going to this second month, my goal is to focus on door knocking. I want to I want to be able to duplicate the success that I'm getting, which is why I want to put out training for that, right? Because there's no point of just me winning and getting these numbers, but nobody else is getting the same result, right? So we have to get down to that and put out content there and training. So what I'll be doing for that is just door knocking every day. I've changed my mindset to just going for no and just treating it like a big experiment, right? And like kind of playing with myself in terms of my emotions and regulating my emotions. So I got to know, how does that make me feel now? Oh, actually, I'm pretty happy because I won. I resolved the lead, and then now we're moving on, right? So and then little things like how can we door knock efficiently, right? Everybody talks about door knocking in between appointments. That's great, right? But there's a lot. I believe there's a lot of nuances there that I can still explore, and whatever I find, I'm sure I'm going to find some golden nuggets here. I'm looking forward to sharing that with everybody.
Yeah, I'm really enjoyed both of you guys coming on. Like, you guys have all had something different to share, and that's the beauty of Family First Life, that you can come in whether you're looking to build a team, whether you're looking to first focus on personal production first, and then eventually, move into the other spheres, eventually move into social media, whatever it is. I mean, that's the beauty of Family First Life, that you can choose how you want to build your business, because people come in and thinking like, is this a multi-level marketing? Do I need to start hiring right away? Or is this an only production based? Like you can't really build a team here. No, you can do whatever you want here. The only thing is you got to be personally responsible for whatever your results are. You have to understand the differences there. So the thing is, if you're going to focus on personal production, you'll make a lot more money up front. If you're going to build a team, it's going to be a slower growth for you to be able to see results, because you can only control what you can do. So, we all need to continue to better understand and explore the other spheres within our business that's available to us. And as long as we continue to do that, I mean, as you guys heard from both of these guys and from Trisha and from Yoel, who you guys did not see on the screen, we're all available to help. So if you guys need help out there, if you guys are looking to grow your business, you guys are looking to start and change your path, and just really get to where you want to get to, let's talk. Let's reach out to your uplines, reach out to one of us. Let's all get this money together. Let's all continue to grow and find this fulfillment together. And it's all possible here as long as we continue to consistently work. So appreciate you guys getting on. We'll see you next week on the Elite Sales Podcast. Thanks, guys.